Hello, fellow Beach Maniacs and island music lovers. Welcome to the Beach Maniac Island Music Podcast, where we dive into the stories behind the music. I'm your host, the Beach Maniac himself, Bill Hurley. Today we're talking with Joe Lowder from the great trop rock and reggae group Flip Flop Republic and Stoney Banks, a Nashville-based reggae, hip-hop, country fusion singer who says he's on a mission to spread happiness. Thank you both for joining me on the Beach Maniac Island Music Podcast.
Thanks for having us.
Great to be here, brother.
All right. You guys are about to release a collaboration called Long Way to Mexico.
Yep.
And I want to get into that really interesting song and talk about how it came about. But first, I want to learn a little bit about Flip Flop Republic and Stoney Banks. Joe, let me start with you. Tell me a little bit about the history of Flip Flop Republic. How and when did you start, and how have you evolved over the years?
We've been around a while, so it feels like we've been around as long as Florida's been around. But we started 12 years ago, something like that, with me and the other singer, Doug. Just wanted to play the beach. We were single dudes. We lived in Tallahassee, Florida, and we just wanted to go get to the beach every weekend that we could. So we started on St. George Island. So it's about 20 minutes, 40 minutes south of Tallahassee, a little island down there. And we were down there almost every weekend. Between there, Apalachicola. Then we discovered this other island called Cedar Key. So all the northern outer islands of Florida, we kind of traipsed around. Panama City, Destin, Fort Walton Beach. And we actually played a gig. And the sound guy came up to us after and said, "Hey, I know a lot of those songs that y'all play. I play keyboard." And it was our keyboardist, Blake. We added him, and then we had a guy. We got on Craigslist. I don't even know if people use Craigslist anymore. He was up from the island of St. Martin going to school, Florida State University. He had a thing that says plays reggae, gospel, jazz, and we were a little hesitant to call him up because we're like, man, we're drinking out in these bars every weekend playing music. I don't know if a gospel drummer will want to come and play with us, but he fit right in. And honestly, he taught us reggae. We wrote our first album together. We recorded it in at Florida State University studio. One of our other keyboardists was a student there, and we just kind of did it low budget. And 12 years now, going strong. Mostly the same members. We rotate in some different drummers every now and then. But yeah, we have started off wanting to emulate Jimmy Buffett. We wanted to live the tropical life, and we didn't really know what trop rock was. We didn't know it was a genre, and I feel like it was Millie or maybe Harry Tiefer. Somebody discovered our music and introduced us to trop rock. Got us to the first festival. We played a Music on the Bay 6-7 years ago, and been going ever since.
And at some point, you switched from Flip Flop Boys to Flip Flop Republic. When did that happen, and why did that happen?
Flip Flop Boys was our acoustic act, and so as we added more band members and more people contributed, we just felt like it was a good evolution of our type of music. We weren't just two guys with guitars at the beach. We're a full band making these, we hoped, luscious soundscapes of reggae and rock music.
Okay, it's a great name. If people probably wonder, where is the Flip Flop Republic?
Yeah, we've had some emails asking us for people to book our bands at our bar or restaurant. We're like, we're not a bar or restaurant.
So now are you trop rock, country, reggae, or something else entirely? How would you describe your music?
I would say rock and reggae. And we definitely have some. We did a second album that was a little bit more trop rock, Jimmy Buffett focused. Our latest album was way more reggae and pop kind of focused. And we kind of get bored. We're kind of all over the place. We love 80s, Sting, The Police, Huey Lewis, all the way to Bob Marley, Jimmy Buffett. So we kind of mix all those influences in. It's kind of boring to do the same thing over and over. And I think if you can kind of hear it in that song, that we have all kinds of different influences.
So that's a unique combination of styles.
Yeah.
Do you find your audiences are a unique set of audiences because of that?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Spans some generations, definitely spans people who like different genres. And if you come to, we host a festival, hopefully we'll talk a little bit more about here in a minute. You come to that, as people from all over. People have seen us through the years and told us, how we changed, and they've rolled with us, and it's been great.
All right. And Stoney, tell me about your journey in music. Where are you from? How did you get to where you are today? How would you describe your music?
Yeah, I'm from Nashville. I grew up here my whole life. Actually, it's funny you're asking this because my dad actually moved here in the late 80s. I was born in California where him and my mother had met. And I'm actually I'm working on getting a bunch of his tapes that we found in the basement onto digital right now, his demo tapes from the 90s. So I look at those tapes and I say, this is the only reason why we're having this conversation really right now is from my dad. My dad's dream to be a songwriter and his love of music and stuff. And you better quiet them kids down, Joe. But no, I'm just kidding. Anyway, but no, that's basically what started me on it. And I kind of just followed my daddy's footsteps, man. He always would play music and had bands and stuff growing up. And I ended up playing in a talent show in sixth grade, and that was kind of where it all started. I guess I was the new kid at school then, and I ended up meeting a few other new kids at school, and I guess we thought it would be cool to make a band, and we worked on it during like a music class in sixth grade or something. And yeah, I just grew up around music. It's always been part of my life, man, and it brought me to this point here where we are in the present moment. And I think that's kind of what started it. And the Stoney Banks thing actually happened. I was found myself wanting to record this song called "See You Smile." Back to your original point about me wanting on a mission to make people smile and bring happiness.
Yeah.
I had this song called "See You Smile," and I wanted to record it. I ended up going to a studio, and I was like, "Yeah, I got $1,500 I can pay these guys or something." And halfway through the recording process, I realized that their studio needed a massive amount of like painting and carpentry work, which is my skill set that pays the bill set. You know what I mean? So,
Uh-huh.
and I realized I probably couldn't come up with the 1,500 cash. So I said, "Guys, let me just start painting and carpentry in the studio up for you. And maybe we can do a little barter system, trade thing." I ended up getting that song done, and I ended up getting a bunch of other songs done. And it attracted the attention of some music industry people in Nashville and stuff. And particularly a manager guy. He was managing the band Lit at the time. And he wanted to work with me and write some beachy country stuff. And like we started writing songs. And he said, "Man, I think you might have what it takes as an artist, yada, yada. What do you feel about, you being the guy to do these songs?" Because I thought we were going to pitch them, you know what I mean? So in a nutshell, long story short, my dad was a songwriter in Nashville, in the 90s and stuff. And he got a few things published, had a few little things going. He really made a claim to fame with doing actual artwork and paintings that you can still see on Robert's Robert's Western Wear downtown, still to this day. Third and Lindsley, I think, still has some of his paintings up. His paintings were actually on the national New Year's Eve celebration with Post Malone, and Chris Stapleton was singing at Roberts, and his paintings are just up on the wall there. So
Wow.
go figure, man. I mean, that was
Very
his.
cool.
He definitely didn't come to town to do these big canvas paintings. You can see a couple of them here in the background. I don't know if you can see that one's one of them. I got one here, Winston
Yeah.
Churchill feeding his fish. You know what I'm saying? So, but
Cool.
but that was kind of where I come from, man. And in a nutshell, yeah, I played in orchestras and stuff, string orchestra, my whole all through middle school and high school. And and then played in rock bands and all that. And then Stoney Banks emerged out of all this stuff from the "See You Smile" album and stuff like that. And we ended up making "Better Than Good" and all these songs I got out on Sunburnt and Baked. And I guess I was trying to make a reggae album with "See You Smile," but I was here in Nashville. and it really kind of ended up having this country swang to it. You know what I mean? This country kind of tinge to it.
And trop rock too.
Yeah, and I guess I just couldn't help it. It just was what it was. And this manager guy was like, man, let's embrace this thing. You know what I mean? So I have definitely come to like totally embrace it. And, yeah, I like to be, eclectic. I like to mix it up. You know what I mean? Like Joe said, man, we don't want to get bored. We don't want to get boxed in or label. It's like it's a freewheeling type of vibe. You know what I mean? So that.
Well, I saw I was watching the video, See You Smile, and that's a really cool video.
Well, thank you.
And you're just like literally spreading happiness on the streets of wherever that was filmed. I assume, was it Nashville?
Yeah, actually, it was up in Boston, where my dad is originally from.
Oh, it was.
I was up there during the summer, and yeah, I found a really cool videographer guy. And a funny story about that. There's those scenes where I'm up on the rooftop. My buddy worked at a hotel down there. I think it was, I want to say Roosevelt, but I could be wrong. Anyway, don't let me get that wrong. But he was saying, we got a great spot for you up on the roof here. And I kept thinking that the rooftop in my mind. So we went to his hotel, and he's like, yeah, let's take the elevator, yada, yada. And we end up on like the top floor. It was like an event space, and it was not available to film anything. And it was inside. It wasn't really what I had in my mind. We were like, hey, dude, we're not going to be able to film this, dude. Like, if they were having a wedding in there, like big old party. I was like,
oh no,
we ain't going to get like, and it doesn't even look like what I'm thinking. You know what I mean? So we went downstairs, and we're sitting on the corner, me and the videographer and a buddy of mine. We're just like, what are we going to do, man? And so I had my guitar, of course, and he has the camera and all this stuff. And the other buddies holding those signs I was holding up, you know what I mean? And this woman walks up to us and is like, what are y'all doing? And we're like, well, we were going to film this rooftop scene, but now we can't because it really wasn't even a rooftop, A, and B, they're having a wedding in there. So the skyline view out of the window wasn't even going to be available. So what had happened, she's like, oh, I live up on the roof there. You can come up to the roof at my place. And so we were like, oh, let's go. So she brought us up, and that's where you get those rooftop scenes. It was like just one of those, you put yourself out there and just cool stuff happens, I guess, man. I don't know.
Just came together.
Yeah.
And then you're down on the street, like I say, spreading happiness with the people, actually interacting with the people on the street. That's awesome.
Yes, sir. Yeah. It was magical. Yeah, it was. And yeah, y'all check out that video, See You Smile. We're not here to talk about that song, but anyway,
No, I know. We're going to move on we're going to talk about Long Way to Mexico,
Absolutely.
but I'm working my way up to it.
Absolutely.
So, Joe, tell us about some of the Flip Flop Republic songs from past and present. If you want to introduce somebody who's never heard your music before to Flip Flop Republic, what 2 songs would you suggest they listen to, and why those?
Ooh, that's a tough question. Well, I will say the one that's probably got the most trop rock play. I know we hit number 1 on quite a few trop rock stations with this song called Sunlight and Moonlight, and it's definitely got a country reggae vibe to it as well, and that would definitely be one. And then oh goodness, what would be the second one? Sunlight and Moonlight for sure. I'm trying to think of something off our latest album. Our latest album went straight more reggae pop, and was a little darker because it was COVID, man. We're all stuck inside. And we weren't writing together. I'd write a snippet and I'd throw it over I send it to one of the guys. They'd add something to it, and we did it kind of in isolation. And so it's a little bit of a darker album, but there's a song on there that I really like that is fun and upbeat. It's called Sunrise. We actually had a really up and coming reggae guy named Joe Samba feature on it with us. And we actually caught him as he was touring through Nashville. He's great. He's got a big voice, real fun kind of music. He had a residency in Key West for about a year and just became one of the top acts out of Key West while he was there. And so, Sunrise with Joe Samba. That's a really cool one.
Great.
Yeah.
All right. And Stoney, same question for you. If you wanted to introduce yourself to somebody who's never heard your music before, are there two songs that you would suggest they listen to?
Yeah, I mean, it comes to mind. I would definitely mention a song called "Float Away," and probably "See You Smile" for sure, because I'm really proud of that video, and that song really means a lot because
Yeah.
of the story behind it, and it's just one of the, like you said, like it really encapsulates, like, I'm trying to spread the love, man, spread some smiles out here,
Right.
and "Float Away" is just a really cool jam that really encapsulates the Stony sound with the country, with the reggae, with the little hip hop in there. Just a cool kind of song that you can chill to it. It's got a great little underlick bass line and stuff, and that's another one I'm really proud of. Um, if I had to pick two, yes, sir, that would be the two. Yeah.
All right. And then there's Long Way to Mexico, which is the one we really want to talk about today.
Yeah.
Riding till the sun comes up, striving to fill our cups, rolling like a stone on down that lonesome road. It's a long, long way to Mexico. Find a place to lay low. Set you in my Ringo, stocked up with tequila. We love the taste of freedom, rolling down the seashore. Gonna find me a senorita. We'll find El Dorado's gold. Chasing our dreams with too much tequila. It might take forever, but I'm never going home. When the sun sinks down, we'll drink all night. Feel the rhythm and we get it right. Forget about the world for a while, just one more song.
Driving 1,000 miles behind, surviving one day at a time. We'll find no peace of mind, so pour it up and live it up. It's what you want and how's the grind? Oh, popping champagne on my boat, swimming in big bank notes. Show me how far you'll go, Sophia. Tell me with tequila, the way you're moving so congruent, living like Pancho Villa.
Go to find me a senorita. We'll find El Dorado's gold. Chasing our dreams with too much tequila. It might take forever, but I'm never going home. When the sun sinks down, we'll drink all night. Feel the rhythm and we get it right. Forget about the world for a while, just one more song. Me and my friends, be at it again, raising hell till 6 a.m. When the doors get locked and the lights come on, I'll be good as gone. Gonna find me a senorita. We'll find El Dorado's gold. Chasing our dreams with too much tequila. It might take forever, but I'm never going home. When the sun sinks down, we'll drink all night. Feel the rhythm and we get it right. Forget about the world for a while, just one more song.
Tell us how that song came into being. Who wrote it, and how did you two get together to record it?
Well, we Doug and I and Blake, the guitarists and keyboardists in Flip Flop Republic, have been working on it for a while, at least the verse part. And we used to just, it's kind of a Western sound, kind of like I say a spaghetti Western reggae. And we called it the whistle song for a while. We whistled over top of it. None of us were very good whistlers. So we're like, we're not going to record whistling. What are we going to do with this? And then we actually had a producer, the guy who produced our reggae album, Josh Bright, out of Boaz, Alabama, of all places. It kind of worked, Boaz, Alabama, because I was in Nashville and the guys were in Tallahassee, and we kind of drove to meet in Alabama. And while we were there, he played us this guy's track, Big Smo, country rapper. He used to have a television show. You check out Big Smo, real deep voice country rapper.
Shout out.
He said, listen to this guy sing this Big Smo song. He let us hear it, and it was Stoney. He's like, man, that dude's got a good voice. He's like, he's up there in Nashville, not far from you probably, Joe. And I said, I need to reach out to that guy. And so I did. I shot Stoney a message and figured out we lived 20 minutes together apart. And he came over one night, him and our flip-flop guitarist, Brad, and we wrote a song like in 20 minutes. It was not this song. It was another song that Stoney had an idea of. We just jammed. And we just jammed out. It was organic and just it clicked. It was like, oh, this is easy. And so we want to tour more. Touring's hard with the band. Touring's hard getting a bunch of guys in cars and traveling. But we did like a little 6 to 7 day tour up the East Coast, up to Virginia and the Outer Banks, North Carolina. Said, Stoney, we got room for one more person in the car. So you want to come with us? And so he came with us and he opened up acoustic. Then we got up and played, and then he come at the end of the show and we all jammed together. So that we've done that a couple times now. It's been a really good way for us to tour together. And man, we were all over the place. We went from somewhere in South Carolina to somewhere in Virginia. In between was a little town in North Carolina that had we got this big old Airbnb. I mean, it was gigantic with this big Cracker Barrel type front porch on it. And I guess the gig was over early, 9 o'clock or something. And we got to that house by 10 or 11 o'clock. And it had about 15 rocking chairs on the front porch. So a little beer, a little tequila. We had no hurry to get to nowhere the next day too much. We sat out on that rocking chairs and was just jamming. We jammed that song and Stoney heard it, and we had been struggling to come up with a hook, a good chorus or something. And he came up with it real quick. He had an idea, boom. And the song, so we had half the song and the chorus came with the hook and we put it together and kind of made it happen.
Yeah.
You could have done a music video right then and there.
We should have,
porch.
probably.
I know, right?
It
Yeah.
was pretty dark out there. We were in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it was pitch black out there. But yeah, it was fun, man. I almost missed doing those runs, man. We need to go on another one soon, Joe.
Yeah. Yeah, we did.
Yeah, that was fun.
So that was the beginning of the song, but how did it develop and get recorded then?
Well, yeah, it kind of came from that little like organic birth on the porch there in the middle of North Carolina somewhere. And Joe is friends actually with a guy from the Hollywood Undead, Jordan Terrell. He's the singer. Also, shout out Charlie Scene from Hollywood Undead. He also lives in the area, 20 minutes, 20-minute ride right by Old Hickory Lake, just like we do. And he, I guess, Joe, you took it to Josh Bright first and got him to lay down the chords and structure, right? And put some like...
our regular producer helped us put the music together at the bass level. Then this guy, Jordan, he's hard, heavy rock. They're a pretty big band. They're a platinum selling band. And man, Jordan is just a great producer. And we got in there with him. Stoney come over and he helped us kind of jazz it up with those horns and all that kind of stuff. Okay, yeah. And it really, really set it off. And
did the vocals. I remember him producing the vocals, just like he has an ear for when you're singing, and he's got a magnificent vocal booth and stuff, you know what I mean? Yeah. And he just has a great ear for it and helped us really nail it down to where, just the vocal production was on point, man. Yeah. And that's kind of how it went down, right? I think, yeah.
Yeah. He says he's
so
had
you pulled in some guys from other bands, or playing the horns and stuff. Where did it all come together?
Yeah, so I actually do play trombone, but there's a trumpet on there too. That's a sample. It's not a real trumpet. So
that was laid in there digitally, right? I mean,
yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if I'll be able to pull that off playing trombone live though, as I got to sing so much on it. So we haven't figured that out yet. But yeah, I do break out the trombone on a few songs live. But yeah, we piece it together. You do bass, drums, a little bit with Josh Bright. Then you do the horns, kind of the icing on the cake, lead guitar stuff with Jordan, and then sprinkle it all together, and that's how you got it.
I've seen some
digital these days. You can email it back and forth. People can add their parts. You don't have to be in the same place.
There you go.
Yeah.
I've seen some teasers for the song on social media. I haven't seen a full-fledged music video to go with it. Do you have one in the works?
Not yet. We have ideas, but we don't have a full-fledged video. We need a Buick Regal. The song talks about an old Buick Regal. We've been trying to find a convertible Buick Regal somewhere.
I've been looking on Facebook Marketplace. I've seen a couple of them. Maybe they got a couple bullet holes in them. I don't know. I was thinking we just go ask them, hey, can we test drive this thing for 15 minutes? And you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It is. Let's get our video done. Oh, man, I don't think we want it, man. You know what I mean?
So the song sounds almost like a soundtrack to an old Western movie or something it's got a little reggae, a little rock, some trop rock, some Mexican musical influences. How would you describe the style of music encompassed by Long Way to Mexico?
Spaghetti Western reggae.
Yeah.
I don't know. The chorus is definitely country, trop rock, reggae. I think the chorus is probably a little more indicative of our overall style of music, and the verses is just kind of fun. They're trying to paint a picture of kind of Bonnie and Clyde, like you did something bad or ready to escape to Mexico. Get out of town, get out of Dodge.
Yeah, I was going to ask that because in a way it seems like the song is about getting away and putting your past behind you and then living a carefree life in Mexico. But there's also something a little sinister going on there, like laying low and getting away from something you need to get away from. Yeah.
I mean, isn't that where you go? You escape to Mexico or the Caribbean or somewhere.
So have you released it yet? You're about to release it?
Next Friday, 28th. So about a week from today.
Next Friday.
February 20th.
All right. So you're both independent artists, right?
Yeah.
So what is in this environment now? What does releasing a song mean?
Oh man.
Well,
it's like shooting a BB into the ocean and hope you see in a ripple.
That's something like that. Yeah.
But no, it's tough. It's we're doing a pre-save campaign right now. So if anybody, we got tons of links where you can click. Amazon, Apple Music, and there's so many songs released every day now. The pre-saves have become very important because if they see a bunch of pre-saves, the algorithm starts getting tickled, and it's like, oh, this is going to be a big song, and it's all about them putting it in all these playlists and other radio stations on Spotify and things like that. The pre-save is a really, really, really big thing these days. That's why we've started pushing it so hard here a month before the song's coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a process for sure. I'm learning it more and more. I've got a friend here in Tennessee, Mellow Dose, who we've done a bunch of songs with, and he's got a really he's almost got like a factory type system of releasing stuff. And I've done a whole bunch of songs with him, and we're going to be putting out an album this year. Fingers crossed. We have a bunch of songs in the tuck, as the kids say, and we're going to be dropping some this year. And he really helped walk us through, getting the DSPs going and the pre-saves. And Joe is a genius with the pre-save stuff and email lists. And I've got a decent little cult following on Instagram, and I've been hitting them hard, saying, "Y'all help me out with this. Hit the pre-saves." Making some little short form content stuff and kind of racking our brains, like you said, about this video. I think this song is going to be worth doing a video too. I think we'll be surprised about, I'm pretty hopeful about the results. I think we're going to do pretty good with it.
Maybe a Siki Tiki. If we can find a Buick around Cedar Key, maybe we can film it up between sets.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you.
I think the song is custom made for a music video. I'd love to see one that goes with it.
Yeah, man.
There's so much potential there.
Well, I appreciate that. I definitely see the vision as well, sir. I think that'd rock, man. I think that'd be really awesome.
Right.
And two, people love a good music video. You can't go wrong. You know what I mean? And
right.
Yeah, everybody I've played the song for really thinks it's cool, man. So I'm like, okay, yeah. And the production's great, the trumpets and stuff. I'm really happy with this song, and I look forward to putting it out and doing more funny short form stuff with it, and mixing it up.
So, how important is social media to the success of an independent artist these days and the success of a song? And how do you guys go about managing your social media and getting the word out?
Yeah, it's definitely like muy importante. You know what I'm saying? Like very, very important. You got to do it. It's just part of life now. People love it. And I've been just really putting the pedal on the gas this year. I found out that I had actually gotten about 1 million streams on my whole catalog over all the streaming platforms, which it's a pretty big deal for me. And so I was like, oh, I can like get some like royalty checks and like do stuff. I'm like, man, so I just need to start posting all the time. And the more I'm doing it, like, I'm having fun with it because, when you post once in a while, you don't really get a response. And then once I started kind of doing it all the time, I started seeing the response building, seeing more streams happening. And I'm like, this is what's up, y'all. Like, this is fun. Like, we got it. So hitting it hard on social media is so important. And we have access to the whole world now. I don't know if I don't think before people,
Right.
people always, want to say social media, man. I grew up, the Who, Jimi Hendrix, they didn't make goofy videos for the internet, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to do this. But I'm like, yeah, but then like, if you were just a regular musician guy chasing a dream, you would be totally, dependent on gatekeepers and people telling you, what to do or accepting you or letting you in the club or whatever. And now it's like we're building our own little cool club, and like I'm sure as an independent radio host, I mean it's so important to get the word out, support other independents, you know what I mean? And doing stuff like this is so much fun to me, man. I'm really basking in it right now, and it's keeping my brain active to think of funny new stuff or entertainment. It's all entertainment.
Right.
That's all I wanted to do is entertain, and here we got the whole, this thing's got the access to the entire world. So, I mean, it's a lot of fun, and it's really important, and it's if you don't let it bother you, you gotta ride the wave, something like that.
And and everybody working together is a big part of it too. And you guys collaborate, and then you access each other's social media audiences,
Absolutely.
and then you do things like this and get it out in different ways. And at the same time, I benefit from having you guys on my show. So it all works together.
Absolutely. And we benefit. I'm gonna share the crap out of this, man, when we get done. And I know my people are gonna love it, and Joe's fans are gonna love it. And then they'll get to know you, and they'll tune in, and they'll probably find a whole plethora of other cool artists. And you never know what's gonna happen once you start. It's a big wide world out there, and we have a great opportunity to really share what we love to do with people, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's important, Bill. Like you doing this, that the Trop Rock radio stations. We had an interview the other night with Flip Flops and Beer Radio.
I saw that.
You guys doing this. I mean, it creates a synergy. It creates a synergy for all the artists, and that ripple gets a little bit bigger as other people pick up on it. So we just appreciate it for sure.
All right. This is your chance now to tell me about the Cedar Key Festival.
Yeah. So this will be our third year. It's called Siki Tiki, Cedar Key Tiki Festival. Cedar Key's a place that let us come play when we were just starting out, and we probably sucked pretty bad, so that was cool of them. And we fell in love with it. Every time we played there, more and more people came. And then I moved, and we just weren't playing quite as much. And probably, I don't know, it's been 6, 7 years, 8 years since we played there. And we decided, hey, if we're going to go back, let's make it something bigger than just going and playing a gig. So we talked to some of the bar owners and said, hey, would the other bar owners let us bring some other artists in? They said, yeah. And so the first year we did it, and it was a lot bigger than we expected. More people came. But the second year we did it, we got worried it was too big. So we capped it at 250 people. Some of those bars only hold 50, 60 people. They were small.
Mm-hmm.
And we were worried we were going to overrun them. And so we thought this year is going to be huge. It's going to grow to double that. And then in 13 months, Cedar Key got hit by 3 hurricanes and a major fire. So the town is a fishing village of 600 people. Jimmy Buffett sang about it. There's an old island hotel there that Jimmy Buffett hang out in. They have a whole history on their webpage of Jimmy hanging out there and playing songs off the balcony and stuff. And we just all fell in love with the place. And I think the artist Stoney had never been there. We brought him there. And we got an artist that plays ukulele from Alaska. People from all over. They all fallen in love with the place. And we, after the hurricane, we canceled it. We were like, well, let's give them time to recover. And then two of our main venues purchased the lots next to them and have expanded. And they said, look, the businesses are opening back up. We really need tourists. We need y'all's help. We need to get people back to the island. And so we're back on. So we halted it for a little bit, and then about January, February, January last month, they're like, hey, let's do it. Let's keep it going. And so tickets are on sale now. It's a very unique place. It's an hour from Gainesville. You would never drive past there. You got to be going there. It's right in the Big Bend where Florida bends. And the main street is called Dock Street, and it's in the water. The main street is a dock. And the bars and restaurants are in the water on poles. And that's one reason when we first started going there, it was like a mini Key West. You walk down that street, there's 6 or 7 bars, restaurants. Now it's down to about 3 bars and restaurants on that street because of the hurricanes taking it away and stuff. So it's really a piece of old Florida that you got to experience before it's gone. 3 hurricanes in a year was just crazy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So how do people get tickets for that and find out more about it?
There's a website, sikitiki.com, sikitiki.com.
So it's like letter C,
K-E-Y,
T-I-K-M.
Yep.
Right on.
We just added a really cool guy. Eric Swanson's a Grammy Award-winning songwriter. He wrote some of the tunes for Soja, who's one of the biggest American reggae bands. They're actually, I think, the first reggae band to win the Grammy. Are they the first American reggae band to win the Grammy?
Oh,
Stoney,
man, I don't know, but that sounds about right. Yeah, they're definitely heavy hitters in that world for sure.
It was a little controversial. Some of the Jamaican bands were like, "Hey, we started this," but yeah, he was a writer on some of those, and he's from St. Pete, so we just happened to catch him not on tour with all those guys. So we're all these artists this year. We told them, "Hey, we're trying to give as much money back to the island as we can, so we're not able to pay as much as we have," and everybody's like, let's go, let's help this island recover. We've already been cutting checks, like the Pirates Cove that hosts the main stage, their dock floated away, and so we sent money to help for lumber to rebuild the dock, things like that. So
great
already helping out.
What are the dates again?
It's May 2nd through the 4th, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, first weekend of May.
All right. And what else can you guys tell me about Flip Flop Republic and Stoney Banks before we finish up here?
Well, you're going to see more from us. I mean, Stoney and I are kind of bandmates up here. I play bass with his band too. You can come catch us at Jolton Hardware in March sometime, I think.
Yeah, we're working that out. We got to nail down the dates and stuff. We're going to be playing in Murfreesboro too. I think we got a 420 Fest with a bunch of the local Tennessee reggae bands. Shout out, Vibrite, Plainview Vibes, Paradise Days, the homies,
we might be playing up on the mountain, Stonewood, which is Reggae on the Mountain. It's a festival. Yeah, we're nailing.
The dates are coming in. Stuff's coming in. But yeah, it's been it's been very fortuitous, so Boaz, where Joe met, Joe works with Josh Bright. So Boaz, Alabama, in the middle of nowhere. You'd never think of this place. So my neighbor 10 years ago, 15 years ago, was from right around the corner from Boaz. And I had been to Boaz in my life many times, Gunnersville Lake and stuff, hanging out in Gunnersville. And we would go to Boaz and play shows. And I think I even dated a chick from Albertville, which is right around the corner from there. So when Big Smo said, let's go to Boaz, Alabama, I was like, oh, I know where that is. And so it's just funny that we kind of full circled on that. And then Cedar Key is actually where I spent my first Florida vacation as an 8-year-old child, man. I had cousins that were living in Gainesville. And my family, we were living in Nashville, and, going on a vacation wasn't something that we were just going to be doing anytime, all the time. We're just working class, you know what I mean? my dad's a painter and you know, look, like, yeah, we weren't like just jet setting or nothing at all. So we took a road trip down to see my cousins, and my mom said, "Oh, this place is kind of close to, you know, it's the beach, kind of close to, you know, to where the cousins are at, and yada yada." So this is a place that I spent my first vacation in Florida, and then Joe's like, we're doing the Cedar Keys, so this like Saturn return of my life is like, I don't know, Joe and Stoney Banks and the Flip Flop Republic, man, something mystical, something natural's happening, and so
That's great.
that's pretty cool, you know. If I had to say anything special about our connection and just the random geography of life and how stuff just kind of comes together again, man, and so yeah, that's.
I'll say too, we push each other. It's been really good. We got our guys in Florida; they're doing songwriting. Me and Stoney up here doing songwriting, and he's really helped us up our game in the studio. He's sitting right in front of a studio right now. You probably can't see it, but he's building up his studio in his house, and he's a very critical ear and eye on songwriting. So he's helped us improve our songwriting a lot. And we've been trying to help on the administrative side, doing the releases, the marketing, and all that kind of stuff. So it's been a good match, good teamwork.
Yeah, and y'all's live, you know, your scope on the live stuff is real good too. And I really, you know, when I first got to play with y'all live and see what y'all had to offer, I was just like, yeah, this is great, man. This is a good fit, and just real tight. You know, Joe cracks that whip, boy. I tell you what. So,
I was in marching band.
Well,
we have certain parameters. You got to do it right.
In a good way. We're all for the best, of course. Absolutely. Yeah. And I enjoy it.
All right. Well, we encourage everybody to pre-save Long Way to Mexico and stream it and download it and help these guys out and make it a big success.
Thanks, man.
Thank you so much, Joe and Stoney, for joining me on the Beach Maniac Island Music Podcast. And I'm wishing you continued success with your careers and with Long Way to Mexico in particular.
Cool. Yeah, come and stop in Cedar Key on your way out of town, out Florida to Wisconsin.
I'll see if I can make it, if the timing works out. Yeah. All right.
Cool.
Thanks again, guys.
Thanks, Bill.
All right. Have a good weekend, man.
Appreciate you, Bob.
Good luck.
See you.
Great to meet you.
Okay.
Thanks for what you do for artists. Bye.
You bet. Thanks again, Joe and Stoney, for joining me on the Beach Maniac Island Music Podcast. For more information about Flip Flop Republic, Stoney Banks, and Long Way to Mexico, visit beachmaniac.com, where this podcast is housed and where you will find both an audio and video podcast, along with some clips, a blog with a podcast transcript, embedded videos of some of the songs we talked about today, and links to Flip Flop Republic's and Stoney Banks websites, Facebook pages, and Instagram accounts. And thanks to everyone for joining me, Bill Hurley, the Beach Maniac, as we go behind the scenes and explore the magic behind the music. For more about me and my passion, visit beachmaniac.com or contact me at bill@beachmaniac.com. Remember, whether you're soaking up the sun or catching the waves, we hope you're feeling those good beach vibes. Until next time, keep the sand between your toes and the ocean breeze in your hair. Stay safe, stay cool, and we'll catch you on the next wave.
My heart is at ease with this tropical breeze.